To judge a thing of substance and solid worth is quite easy. To comprehend it is much harder, and to blend that judgment and comprehension in a definitive description is the hardest thing of all. Now, this profound observation comes from the German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer. Now, today's episode, we're going to descend into this quote, as I believe if we truly explore the depths of his words and we challenge our own views, we can observe our own biases and we can see our own perceptions of knowledge and wisdom. Welcome back to Man Uncaved. In this episode, I'd like to dive into where we may be hiding in our own perceptions, more specifically, hiding in our own tendencies to critique, judge, or worse, harm another as well as harm ourselves when we cease to become aware of our own limitations, our own beliefs, and our own humanity. Now, my hopes is that we can take a step back. We can catch ourselves stuck in a one-sided view, which is, let's be honest, usually our own, to see a wider lens. We see it. We feel it, the hard polarities sweeping the globe. However, my truest hope is that we cannot just see it, but we learn to comprehend it, but more importantly, that we start to become responsible for our own behaviors to make the change we truly seek. Now, Schopenhauer, known for his pessimistic yet insightful views on the human condition, is highlighting a critical distinction between judgment and comprehension. We often rush to judge, to categorize, to label. It's a natural human tendency. It's a shortcut our minds take to navigate a complex world. But as Schopenhauer points out, judgment alone is superficial. It's actually quite easy to say it's good or bad, right or wrong, without truly understanding the object of our judgment. Now think about it. We see a news headline and instantly form an opinion, often without reading the article. We encounter someone with a different belief system and dismiss them as arrogant or misguided. We can judge a piece of art based on its aesthetic appeal without considering the artist's intent or actually the historical content of the piece. I think it's equally important working with individuals especially that we don't just see the frame of this individual. We have to understand there are sequence of events that is leading this individual or ourselves to the decisions that we're making, the behaviors that we're making, the beliefs that we're making. So stepping back is crucial in the healing of our own self and the healing of the planet. Comprehension, on the other hand, requires an effort. It demands that we delve deeper, that we ask questions, that we seek to understand the underlying complexities. It requires us to step outside of our own biases and perspectives, to see the world through another's eyes. It's not about agreeing or disagreeing, and I think this is where we can tend to get stuck, is we feel like it's a right or wrong. When we tend to live in a right or wrong, it's ethnocentric. We are making ourselves superior in some ways, that we have the answers. Already in that is a limitation. It is a bias. It is a confined space that no one else can live in because we have all the answers. Now, Schopenhauer takes it a step further. He argues that the hardest thing of all is to blend that judgment and comprehension in a definitive description. Now, this is the alchemy of wisdom, the ability to hold both perspectives simultaneously. It's about recognizing the validity of our own judgments while acknowledging the limitations of our own understanding. This is actually what I believe is true maturity, is these abilities to, again, hold these two simultaneous things that might be on polar opposite sides, to see our humanity within that, to see our limitations in that, and yet stay in the gray zone. So, why is it so difficult? Actually, because it requires us to hold paradoxes, to embrace ambiguity. See, it challenges our need for certainty, our desires for simple answers. It demands intellectual humility, the willingness to admit that we don't know everything. Paradoxes are difficult for our minds to comprehend because they fundamentally challenge the logical framework that we rely on daily to understand the world. But the ability to hold judgment and comprehension simultaneously is crucial for our own personal growth as well as globally. It allows us to move beyond simplistic black or white thinking, to embrace the gray areas of life. It fosters empathy, compassion, and a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. When we judge without comprehension, we actually build walls. We hide. We create division. We perpetrate misunderstandings. But when we strive to understand, when we seek to comprehend, we actually build bridges. We actually can foster connection. We create a more compassionate and just world. This ability to hold both judgment and comprehension is again truly a sign of maturity. It means that we're able to see the world in all of its complexities. We're able to form opinions and still understand that there is more to the story. We are able to disagree and still see the humanity in others. And so as we conclude in today's exploration of understanding and judgment, let's reflect on the scientific method, a powerful tool for navigating the complexities of our own world. At its core, the scientific method emphasizes proving the null hypothesis, essentially disproving the idea that there's no effect or relationship. Now, this approach, while seemingly counterintuitive, is profoundly insightful. By focusing on disproving our assumptions, we embrace uncertainty and cultivate a spirit of rigorous inquiry. We acknowledge that our initial hypothesis might be flawed, and that true knowledge emerges from a process of continuous refinement. Now, this principle mirrors the broader themes we've discussed today. Just as the scientific method thrives on challenging its own assumptions, so too must we challenge our own biases and perspectives. By actively seeking to disprove our own beliefs, we open ourselves to new possibilities and accelerate the pace of discovery. Whether you're doing that on an individual level or you're also doing that on a global level, it is important that we challenge these things. I like to say we're scientists of self, university of life. Can we analyze this data with honest eyes? Is the question of time. Now, proving the null hypothesis allows for more studies, more advancements, and more change because it forces us to become more critical of the evidence we have. It requires us to have more data and to look for the most minute of details. Now, this is the same for our own biases. If we are to grow, we have to look at the details and prove to ourselves that our biases are incorrect. Now, this commitment to intellectual humility, this willingness to embrace uncertainty, is essential for personal growth and societal progress. It's the engine of scientific advancements, the foundation of meaningful dialogue, and the key to build a more just and compassionate world. So I challenge you to reflect on your own judgments. Are you rushing to conclusions? Are you willing to delve deeper to seek comprehension? Are you capable of holding both judgment and comprehension in a definitive description? And so to leave us tonight, I just wanted to bring in another quote. As Gandhi so eloquently put it, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." See, we cannot expect the world to transform if we are unwilling to transform ourselves. Begin by challenging your own assumptions. Seek to disprove your own biases. Listen to perspectives that challenge your own. This is how we cultivate true understanding, build bridges of empathy, and create a world where knowledge and compassion prevail. Remember, the path to wisdom is not about having all the answers, but about asking the right questions. And the first step is to recognize the limitations of our own judgments. I hope this episode was insightful. I hope it causes a conscious shock to open up a little space of light where we may be able to get out of our own way, allow others to come in with their own beliefs, their own understandings, their limitations, just like I have my own limitations, so that we can hopefully create a better world for ourselves and for others. I am Shane, and this is Man Uncaved. We need to come out of hiding.